Hello again. In this video we're going to be looking at some very basic HTML along with some CSS formatting, which I'll talk about more in a minute. We're going to be using Dreamweaver for this, so if you've got Dreamweaver then that's great. If not, then you can use Notepad. It's slightly different but it's doable, so I'll talk about that more about that in a moment as well. Before we start, if you'd like to know more about HTML, what it is, how it works, then there's a link to a video in the description, one of my earlier videos. It will tell you basically what HTML is and what to expect from it. So if you want to take a look at that, then go ahead. If not, then we're going to look at some basic HTML. So if you've got Dreamweaver, open it up. First thing we're going to do is either click HTML here or go to File, New, HTML. Now if you're working in Notepad, just open up Notepad and you'll need to write the following. You'll need an open tag, HTML, and you'll need a close tag, HTML. Just copy this as you go. If you need to pause the video, then feel free. Next thing we're going to have is a head tag and a close head tag, and if I put the forward slash there, and we're going to have an open body and a closing body. So we got something that looks like that. You can put as many spaces as you want. They're not actually picked up by the browser, so don't worry about spaces. So in Notepad now we've got something pretty similar to what we've got in Dreamweaver. We haven't got the DTD, but that's not important at this stage. We're just looking at some basic code, so if you want to use Notepad, then you can just follow along using this basic structure. I'm going to close Notepad now, so if you want to use Notepad, then just pause the video and make sure you're up to date with that. Okay, so if we look at this, we've got the HTML tags. This is telling the browser that we're using HTML. So we've got an opening tag here and a closing tag. The closing tags are defined by a forward slash. The next thing we've got is a head tag and a closing head tag. So everything between the opening and the closing head is within the head section. In the head section we have things that can be read by the browser, but they're not actually displayed physically on the user's screen. So things like the title and links to CSS files, which we're going to do in a moment, and things like preloads for rollover images, which you don't need to worry about at the moment, but that's what the head section's for. On the contrary, we've got a body section. Everything within the body section of a web page, or should I say everything within the body section of a HTML file, is physically displayed on the user's screen. So if I was to put in here so these P tags are basically paragraph formatting tags. So everything within these two tags is going to be in paragraph format. If we press F12, we'll be asked to save the document. We're just going to press yes and press save. Now if you're using Notepad, then you'll need to go to File, Save, and choose All Documents and save as index.html or anything.html. Now what's going to happen is the page is going to be loaded into a browser. This is probably going to be Internet Explorer. In my case this is Firefox, because this is set as my default browser. So here's the text that I was putting in earlier on. You'll notice that the tags haven't been displayed. Tags are never displayed, it's just what's within the tags that's displayed. So if we go back to Dreamweaver, we can add another line. You can just copy and paste as you go. So this is just adding content to the website. Just make sure that you've got an opening tag and a closing tag between all of your text that's going to be on the site. So if you press F12 again, you'll be asked to save again. It's going Click yes, and eventually the page will load. I'm not sure why it's so slow at the moment. Maybe I have too many things open or something. So there it is. We've got the first line and the second line of text. So everything within the body tag is physically displayed, and that's pretty much all you need to know right now about HTML. What we're going to look at next is formatting. There's a few ways that you can format your text and your pictures and whatever you might have on the site. The first thing we're going to try is using Dreamweaver's inbuilt formatting tools. So we're going to look what it does to the code. So we've already got here paragraph, so it's in paragraph format. What we're going to do now is we're going to change the colour of the text. So we're going to make it red. You'll notice at the top here, in the head section, Dreamweaver has added this code called style1, .style1. That's a class. So it's saying style1 colour is this hash code, which is actually red. So anything that says style1 is red. And if you look down here, it's also added this class equals style1. So it's saying everything in these tags, within these two tags, is going to be style1. So hello world, or hello this is basic page, should I say, is going to be red because it's saying class equals style1, and up here we're saying .style1 is red. So if we press F12 again and save, when it loads, the very top line should be red and the bottom one should be there. Yeah, there it is. So the top one's red and the bottom one is black. Black's the default paragraph colour on a web page. The defaults are a white background with black text, but we're changing that at the moment. So if we just close those and open Dreamweaver back up, so we've got style1 and hello this is a basic page in red. Now then, the problem that we have here is if we want to create multiple pages for the website, style1 is contained within this page, so we're going to have to make a new style1. So if we go to File, New, again, HTML, so this is going to be a separate page. If now we put in there exactly the same thing, that's going to be black. Now if you look in the head section on the previous page, we have style1. On this one we don't. So if we add p class rather equals style1, that's not going to do anything at all. So if we press F12 and save, it's not going to do anything at all. It's just going to be black. There's not going to be any formatting whatsoever. So we just got basic black colour there. Okay, so all we could do at the moment is just copy this and put that into the head section of the next page. Now that's all well and good, but the problem with that is, what if you've got a website with several hundred pages? So maybe the BBC website, hundreds and hundreds, thousands of pages. You're not going to want to add that little bit of code into the head section of every single page. And then another problem occurs when you want to update the colour scheme of a website. If I had style1 in the head section of every single page, I'd have to go to every single page and change this code in every page. So what we have instead is something called a CSS file, or a cascading style sheet.